Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you what a consistent pre-start and project delivery process looks like inside a systemized building business. So let's jump into Wunderbuild and I'll show you how it works. So the first thing to understand is that in a properly set up Wunderbuild account, every new job has a pre-start checklist structure already loaded in from day one. So I'm looking at the checklist area here within a job, and you've actually already got the pre-construction checklist templates which have already been provided to you. So for example, you've got the Wunderbuild setup items checklist, which is all about making sure that the job is configured correctly in the system. Then you've got the project review items checklist. So this is where the construction manager or the business owner captures all the key project information into the Wunderbuild system, so important information isn't lost. You've got documentation and planning checklist items, so that relates to everything that needs to be set up from a document perspective and just setting up the job correctly so everyone can find the correct documents and plans and making sure they are where they need to be in the system. And you can see even here we've got a checklist for checklists to be imported, and one of those is the pre-construction checklist. So you'd review the checklists that you've already been provided with and just see what's relevant to your project. So having this checklist system in place provides us with a step-by-step workflow of what needs to be checked off on before site work starts, so that every job follows the same process and we're not just reliant on people's memory each and every time we start a new job. Now, when we're ready to start engaging trades and suppliers, everyone gets issued with a structured purchase order directly from Wunderbuild. So once we've got a job set up, we've got the purchases bills function here where we can send purchase orders out from. Then we do that through an email template and also the job documents folder system that's saved into the job, so that we've got the same information ready to go each and every time we need to send out a purchase order. So just looking at the email template, if I go to this purchase order email template here, obviously this would be saved for the job, but you can see here it's got all standardized information as related to where project drawings are stored, where the project specification is stored, any reference documents. We issue them with the project subcontractor agreement, whether there's retention or not, the contact details, site working hours, and then all the safety and compliance requirements related to safety rules and policy, site inductions, and just the general safety rules. And we even set up a online site induction link where they can click this and do an online site induction before they attend site. So this just saves the paperwork aspect on site and everyone can just get on with doing their job once they arrive on site. So going back to the job now, once we've actually engaged our trades and suppliers, the next thing that we obviously need to do is coordinate and schedule the works. And this is where I notice a lot of builders running really reactively in terms of their schedule, where dates are set verbally, things change, and then there's no proper system in place to make sure that they're on the front foot with the job schedule and also all the tasks that are associated with those schedule activities. So with the Systemised setup, we've already got master schedule templates already pre-built into the system. So to show you how that works, if I go to schedule here and then we go to options, import from template, we can pick a schedule template as related to the type of job that we're building. So anything from a new home single story or double story or extension renovation, and different building types in terms of brick veneer, lightweight cladding, and different roof types. We can pick the schedule template like that, pick our start date, hit import, and then that pre-built template will come into the system, where we're only then needing to make minor modifications to make it align with the project that we're actually building. So once this comes into the system, what you'll also see, it's already got resources assigned, so dummy resources. So for example here, this one's linked to the plumber, and then You can also see how everything's linked up from a relationship perspective. And then where you see all these green circles, this means that there's tasks associated with that activity. So for example, if I'm looking at this sewer and stormwater drainage points activity and I click here, you can see all the tasks associated with that activity, like contracting the plumber, doing the underground plumbing check, and you can see this is already assigned to dummy team members as well. So the idea is that you can bring in a schedule template, make any minor adjustments, modifications to the scheduling of the works, and then also assign actual trades and suppliers to replace those dummy trades and suppliers that I have in place. And then the same also goes with tasks that are associated with those schedule activities. So for example here, this underground plumbing QC check is assigned to the site manager. You would replace that with the actual person who's the site manager on your job, and then they would get the notification in this instance that they need to do this underground plumbing QC check the same day that the plumber's actually finishing the sewer and stormwater drainage. And then they'll also have a checklist as well of items that need to be completed as part of the site manager completing that task. So again, it's all about having templates and systems already pre-built. In this instance, when a new job starts, you're not building a schedule from scratch. You bring in the master template, assign your actual trades and team members, and then your schedule is ready to go. Now, just on the checklist, this one's obviously related to the site quality control for the site manager needs to do in this instance for the underground plumbing quality control check. But the checklists also expand to daily management responsibilities for both the site and the project office team. So to give you an example, and if we're sticking on this schedule activity, this one here for contracting the plumber, this one's assigned to the junior project manager. If I click on this, it'll come up with this checklist item to say contract the plumber, and there's a contracting compliance and QC checklist associated with this. So this is the reminder for the junior project manager or whoever's managing the contracting in the office that we need to contract the plumber. There's a checklist associated with contracting the plumber, and we're going to need to do that 84 days or 12 weeks before the plumber's on site to give ourselves enough time to contract the plumber. So we'd go back into the job here, we'd go into our checklists view here, and then from here what we can do is we can import a contracting and compliance checklist, so we're not forgetting important things in this instance as it related to the plumber. So you can see I've got a whole heap of trade and supplier quality control checklists here. So I'm just looking for the plumber here, plumber underground drainage, that's the one. I'd import that, and then whoever's in the office responsible for contracting, they'd have a standard list of contracting and compliance checklist items, and then they'd also have some specific quality control items to check before we issue them with a purchase order and engage them for the project. So we've got specific items there relating to contracting compliance. Then we've got even daily reminder items that the site manager needs to be aware of and that they need to be checking off on daily. Same with the project office team, the important things that they need to be doing daily. So there's no excuse for someone was busy or I forgot. So these checklists provide a detailed list of items that need to be complete or at least reviewed on a daily and weekly basis, so nothing falls through the cracks, and we've got a system that drives the process and not individual persons or someone's memory. So that's pillar 2 of the Systemised builder, which is operational discipline. So for every job we have the same process, the same standard, and we follow that every time. Hope you found that useful.